Number 1, what is acceleration? Acceleration is a change in velocity with respect to time. 2, a 10 kilogram car A moves towards a 10 kilogram car B, which has a velocity of 5 meters per second. After the collision, car A stops. How does car B move? Well, m1 times m times v1 times m2 times v2 equals m1 times v1 prime plus m2 times v2 prime. 10 kilograms times 5 meters per second equals 10 kilograms v2 prime. 50 equals 10 kilograms times v2 prime. 5 meters per second equals v2 prime. Number 3. Carl is pulling a box in one horizontal direction with a force of 10 newtons. Taylor is pulling on the same box in the opposite direction with a force of 5 newtons. What is the net force? Well, because 10 is moving one way and 5 is moving the other, you'd go 10 minus 5, which equals 5 newtons. What is the force of an object at rest? 0, because gravity is pushing down on the object and the table is pushing up on the object. A car starts from rest and accelerates to 20 meters per second in 10 seconds. What is the average velocity? It goes from 0 to 20 divided by 2, which equals 10 meters per second. Number 6. This is Taylor's position as a function of time. What is the total distance traveled? What is the average speed? Well, the distance is 20 plus 20 plus 30 plus 30, which equals 100 meters, and speed is distance divided by time, which is 100 divided by 60, which is 1.67 meters per second. Number 7 is, this is the velocity versus time graph. What is the displacement during every time interval? What is the acceleration during every time interval? Displacement is d equals 1/2 v times t. So for the first one you do from 0 to 10 is d equals 1/2 negative 20 times 10, which equals negative 100 meters. Acceleration is v divided by t equals a, and from 0 to 10 that would be negative 20 divided by 10, which equals negative 2 meters per second squared. Number 8. Car A is pulled by a student with a force of 1 newton, while car B is pulled by a student with a force of 2 newtons. Both cars weigh 40 kilograms. Which has a greater acceleration? Car B, because the greater the net force, the greater the acceleration. Find the acceleration of the 3 kilogram cart when two 1 newton weights are attached. A equals F divided by M, so 20 newtons divided by 5 kilograms is 4 meters per second squared. The mass of a box is 20 kilograms and its sliding friction is 50 newtons. What is the acceleration of the box when pulling the force is 50 newtons, 100 newtons, or 200 newtons? A equals F divided by M, so 50 newtons minus 50 newtons is 0, and 20 kilograms. 0 divided by 20 kilograms equals 0 meters per second squared, and so on. What is the maximum possible resultant when adding the forces 5 newtons and 12 newtons together? That would be 17 newtons, because 5 plus 12 is 17. 12. A girl's weight is 200 newtons. What is the tension in each string? 200 newtons divided by 2 is 100 newtons, because she has 2 arms, and they're equally distributed. 12. A boat drives across a river at 5.0 kilometers per hour to a current flowing at 20 kilometers per hour. What is the resultant speed? Well, you have Vx, which equals 5 kilometers per hour, and Vy, which equals 20 kilometers per hour. So you do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and so c ends up 20.62 kilometers per hour. 13. Carla pushes a 30 kilogram block with 15 newtons of force. How fast will the block accelerate? F equals ma, and so 15 newtons equals 30 times a, which equals 2 meters per second squared. How many times as fast will the lighter block accelerate if the two are pulled apart and the string snaps back together? It would be 2 times as fast because it's half the weight. Carl is walking home from school. He travels 0.25 kilometers east, 0.5 kilometers north, then 0.35 kilometers west, another 0.25 kilometers north, then 0.15 kilometers east. The trip takes him 10 minutes. Draw vectors and determine the distance, displacement, and speed. Distance is just all of those added together, which is 1.5 kilometers. Displacement, you take 0.25 minus 0.15 because they're both moving east. And you do 0.5 minus 0.25 because they're both moving north. And you add 0.10, 0.25, and 0.35, and you get 0.7 kilometers. The speed is distance divided by time, which is 1.5 kilometers divided by 10 minutes, which is 0.15 meters per second. 17. A rocket is shot with an initial velocity of 40 meters per second at a 45-degree angle. It hits a target in the air. At what speed does the rocket hit the target? Well, VI is 50 meters per second, and VY would be 50 sine of 45, which is 35.36 meters per second. 18. Carlo rolls a ball down a horizontal hill at a velocity of 5 meters per second. What is the speed of the ball 2 seconds later? Vx equals 5.0 meters per second, t equals 2 seconds, and a equals 10 meters per second. To get this side, you do 10 times 2, which is 20 meters per second, and 5.0 meters per second, and you do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which ends up to 20.62 meters per second. Number 19. An escalator is at a 45-degree angle that moves at a velocity of 10 meters per second. What is the horizontal component of its velocity? Well, Vx is 10 meters per second, and Vy would be 10 cosine of 45, which is 7.07 meters per second. Number 20. Carl is driving a 2,000-kilogram car at 60 meters per second. Taylor runs into the road, and he stops the brakes in 2.0 seconds. What is the net force required to stop the car? Force equals mass times acceleration, and so 2,000 kilograms times 60 meters per second divided by 2 kilograms equals 30 meters. F equals 60,000 newtons.